Here again with another Breaking Bad Season 5 Part B episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important if you weren't caught up to the point where I am every watching you're watching Breaking Bad, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found out you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, I've seen Breaking Bad many times, at least 8 times. This might even be my 10th time watching the show. So join me on the journey and let's discuss the show in the comment section, along with the legendary Crazy Coffin Man, who's a fan of Breaking Bad, who's a fan of Lucifer, big fan of Lucifer, and a fan of Dexter, but he likes this show and he'll be interacting with us in the comment section. So with all that said, this will be Breaking Bad Season 5, Episode 15. The title of this episode is called Granite State. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So the red van pulls up to Best Quality Vacuum. Ed comes out of the van, played by the late great Robert Forster. Ed opens the garage door and tells Saul Goodman he can come out. Ed needs 2 to 3 days to get Saul to Nebraska. Saul will stay downstairs at Ed's store until then, but he'll have company as Walter White is down there as well. Raimi gives Marie his word that they'll find Hank and Steve Gomez. The Schrader residence is a mess as it's been broken into. Back at Jack's hangout, all Jack's men, including Todd, watch the video Hank made of Jesse. Jack wants to waste Jesse right now, but Todd talks him out of it. They figure Todd wants to cook more for Lydia as he's got a thing for her. And Jack says she's probably got a wood chipper for her coochie. That was hilarious. She might have one. The heart wants what the heart wants, right? Jesse looks beat up. Jesse has a picture of Andrea and Brock. He's going to try and use the paperclip to free himself from the handcuffs. Walt wants a hitman from Saul. Walt wants to take out Jack and his men. Saul gives Walt a nickel's worth of advice. Saul says getting money to Skyler will be impossible. Mike was no dummy, but every time he tried to get his nest egg into his granddaughter's pockets, it went to Uncle Sam. Ed comes down and tells Saul, time to go. And Saul tells Walt he's Mr. Low Profile now. And Walt's like, no! And he gets mad. But then he eventually starts coughing. And then Saul takes his blue luggage and leaves. And that is the last time we ever see Saul Goodman on Breaking Bad. But check him out on Better Call Saul. Skyler meets with the DEA. She can't give them what they want as she doesn't know where Walt is. Skyler hears Holly cry and goes to check on her. Todd and the others are there with ski masks. She tells Todd, please don't hurt my baby. And then Todd asks Skyler if she said anything about the lady to the DEA that came into the car wash, Lydia. And she says that she didn't and she will not say anything about her, I swear. Todd and company leave. Skyler is not physically hurt, but she's probably mentally distraught over that. And Lydia sits behind Todd as the usual meeting place, and Lydia wants a coffee with her famous stevia. And Lydia tells Todd we'll have to take a break, and Todd tells her that he has meth that's 92% purity, and she tells him they have Pinkman. And then Todd tells her that I think we make a good team. Ed takes Walt to New Hampshire. Walt had to stay in the tank of the truck the whole way there. That's 20 plus. Well, you're going from New Mexico to New Hampshire. That's at least 20 hours, if not 30 hours or something I don't know exactly how long it is. And Walt doesn't get a phone. He doesn't get internet or a satellite. He just has a DVD player and some shitty DVDs that were Ed's DVDs. And that's pretty much it. Ed will bring the Albuquerque news when he comes back next month. And Ed says if he leaves this place, he will get caught. And then as soon as Ed leaves, Walt decides he's going to leave. It's 8 miles to the nearest town. And then Walt changes his mind. And Walt starts a fire. Jesse's trying to get out of his cage. Todd brings him some ice cream. And then Todd tells Jesse he cooked a batch that was 96% purity. So Todd thought he kind of deserved something. Jesse asked Todd to leave the tarp off for the night, and Jesse might get cold, Todd says. And Jesse says, I don't mind. And then Jesse again uses the paper clip to undo his cuffs, and then he stacks things so he can jump and reach the top of his cage. And then he's able to open the cage and like undo the lock that's up there, and Jesse gets out. And then Jesse starts climbing the fence in the yard, but he is caught. Jack and his men are out there, and Jesse says, "Go ahead, kill me now. There's no way I'm doing one more cook for you psycho fucks." So then we go to Todd going to Andrea's place, and Todd tells Andrea that he's a friend of Jesse Pinkman's. And Todd tells her that he brought Jesse with him. He's right over there in that truck. And then we do see that Jesse is tied up in the truck. And then Todd tells Andrea, just so you know, this isn't personal. And Todd shoots Andrea in the back of the head, and Andrea falls to her death. Jesse starts freaking out, and Jack says, settle down. Hey, remember, there's still the kid. Ed has come back to Walt's place. Walt's hair has grown back. It's been way more than 30 days. Maybe he's already come and gone a few times. I want to say it's like a year out now. At least 6 months out. And Walt's trying out different pairs of glasses as his prescription is changing, and he's finally found a different pair that works. Maybe not 100% good, but it works better than his pair that he'd had for a long time. And Ed tells Walt that Skylar's doing taxi dispatch using her maiden name. Ed helps Walt with some makeshift chemotherapy treatment. And then Ed goes to leave, and Walt asks him to stay a little longer. And Walt will give him $10,000 to stay another hour. So they play some cards. Walt says that one of these days when you come up here, I'll be dead. If that happens, Walt wants Ed to give his money to his family. And Ed says, if I say yes, would you believe me? While he's trying to sleep, Walt's ring actually falls off his finger as he's getting skinnier. And then Walt puts the ring around a string and then puts it around his neck. And then Walt puts some money into a box from was a protein shake? No, it can't be protein shake. Cause that wouldn't have to be refrigerator, but some kind of drink. But there's a box that came in, and Walt puts as much money as he can in that box and leaves the cabin. Next we see Flynn White in class. Carmen has pulled him out of class, saying that his Aunt Marie has called and it sounds important. Walt has paid someone to call and pretend to be Marie, and then Walt gets on the phone with Flynn, and Walt tells Flynn, it's so good to hear your voice. And then Walt tells Flynn, I've made some mistakes. Things happen that I didn't anticipate. And then Walt tells Flynn he's sending Lewis a package. It's for you, your mother, and your sister. Walt says it's about $100,000. That's all I could fit into the box. If anyone says a word, the police will take it. And then Flynn says, You killed Uncle Hank. You killed him. What you did to Mom, you asshole, I don't want anything from you. I don't know why I do Walter Jr. impressions and impressions of their voice when I talk like them, but I just do. Or when I say their lines. And then Flynn does a Skylar impression and says, Shut up. Shut up. Why are you still alive? Die already. Just die. And then Flynn hangs up the phone. And you have Carmen and somebody else walking towards him like, what the hell's going on? And then Walt actually calls the DEA and says he'd like to speak to the agent in charge of the Walter White investigation. And then, like, can I tell him who's calling? And Walt's like, Walter White. And then Walt gets a drink. He hangs up and watches Gretchen and Elliot Schwartz on TV. So he hung up the phone, and then he goes to get the drink, but then he sees that Gretchen and Elliot are on TV. And then Elliot says we were talking about a person that was there early on, but who had virtually nothing to do with the creation of the company and still has less to do with growing it to what it is today. And then Gretchen and Elliot say that Walt's contribution to the company is really just the company name. And then Walt looks pissed. And then Walt hears that his signature product is still out there. So that like puzzles him. Like, what the hell? And then Gretchen says, whatever he became, this sweet, kind, brilliant man that we once knew a long time ago, he's gone. And then Walt looks even more pissed, and cops show up at the bar, and Walt's gone. And that ends the episode, setting up for the series finale of Breaking Bad. So really good stuff. I can't believe I've already gotten to the finale. I'm going to score this episode a 9.2 out of 10. And then my character of the episode, I mean, yeah, Walt was good. Flynn, or Walter Jr., was decent. And then you had Ed. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give Ed the male character of the episode. The females didn't really have much time. Marie had one scene, Lydia had one scene, and Skylar had two. I actually gave it to Lydia, but I had forgot that Skylar had two scenes until I read this review. But I'm going to give it to Lydia because Lydia just, I don't know, something about our character now like intrigues me. So yeah, we're at the finale next. As far as what I'm going to do next for the channel with Breaking Bad, I think, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to review El Camino. And then after that, I'll probably do a seasons ranked video and I think I'm going to do an episodes ranked video, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to jump right into Better Call Saul or I'm going to do Lost. But rest assured, once I finish my reviews of Lucifer and what I'm going to do with that show, I will do the other show then. So you're going to see Lost, you're going to see Better Call Saul stuff on this channel. I'm not sure which one's going to happen first. It would make sense to go from Breaking Bad to Better Call Saul, but I really, really want to talk about Lost. But anyway, I'm done rambling. You've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, or El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button, as it does help with the channel quite a bit. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are pertaining to this episode. What would you rate this episode? Who would be your male character of the episode? Who would be your female character of the episode? If you want to do it with just one, that's fine. Click right here for my Better Call Saul series finale video, assuming that you've seen every single episode of Better Call Saul. I did review the last season of Better Call Saul. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. Click right here for my Better Call Saul series finale review video, and you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.